This is Psalm 64:1. To the chief musician, the Psalm of David. Hear my voice, O Yahweh, in my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of evil, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bow to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Call all Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Rachach Dash. Double honors to our elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutations to those that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Nathaniel from the GMS Camp Atlanta, coming back at you through the Spirit with another lesson. And I pray and hope this lesson is edifying. And we have here this video, and it's just so telling about this scripture here, about how Esau Edom has set up systems to purposefully target the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, to shut them up in prison houses and to actually kill them. So without further ado, let's play the video.
This to your face. Black Hispanics between 14 to 21. They must get stopped.
At the end of the month, these officers, whoever don't have that arrest or those few summonses, they're pressured to find something. You might not see nothing. You're supposed to be visible. You might not see anything, but you go hunting, like bounty hunting for an arrest. Locking up some old guy, some homeless guy, finding somebody who's riding a bicycle on the sidewalk, who's spinning, and you bring him in.
The problem is when you go hunting, when you put any type of numbers on a police officer to perform, we are going to go to the most vulnerable.
The most vulnerable.
Of course, we're going to go to LGBT community. We're going to go to the black community. We're going to go to those people that have no vote, that have no power. If we start doing what we're doing in Midtown Manhattan, a phone call to the mayor's office is going to be made. That's going to be the end of it.
We're the predators, they're the prey. The worst thing you can have is a police officer that needs an arrest for the month.
So you're all minorities. How does that make you feel?
It's horrible.
This is something coming from the top that trickles its way down, and this is why we're all here today.
And you know, those are just wicked Israelite men who sold out to the system. Nigga, just because all of a sudden you're discovering now that you're doing evil, you're still working for this evil ass system for a paycheck. That's what trips me out about Jake. Oh, you want to talk about it, but you're still going to work for the corrupt ass system that's causing these things to happen to our people, you know? But hey, all these things are coming to an end. This is why Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is bringing all this stuff out right now. Okay, to showing you why he's about to destroy this place with the sword of destruction. Look at all these evil people, and look at what their people are doing to their people under the rulership of Esau Edom. You know, this is these evil ass people who are setting up snares and traps just so they can put Jake in prison houses. Okay, that's but like he said, you know, if you don't have anything, you are pressed to get something. All right, because they want your ass in their system. You know, I get one precept. All right. So we're going to go to the book of Isaiah. (42 and 22). And this one reads, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. You see, we're in these ghettos, you know, we're in these messed up neighborhoods, we're in these apartment complexes all stacked up together, you know, in concentrated places where we can be preyed upon. All right. They are hid in prison houses. You know, America itself is a fucking giant prison, but, you know, for the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But furthermore, They actually build these prisons through and put our people in there through something called the prison industrial complex. Okay, where you have all of these through what they call the 13th Amendment, they have a pass to create laws for the purpose of locking your black ass up. Okay, so they can get paid off of you. All right. There was a movie that came out years ago called 13, right? And in this movie 13, they were talking about how where it says slavery under unless under the penalty of punishment will be abolished. So they built all these damn prison houses and threw your ass in there so you can be a slave and work for their system. Okay. So they don't look at you as persons. They look at you as cattle. You know what my man, Doctor, the Rabbi Frankenstein or whatever his name was said. We look at y'all as goyim, okay, which is cattle, okay. So they put our people in prison houses and they use our people to police us. Absolutely diabolical, and our people do it. So you get on national TV and you're talking about how corrupt and terrible it is, but hey, you're the one who facilitating this shit. You're not fighting against a wicked ass system. You're the ones facilitating it. You wicked ass jakes. All right, and that's why Yahweh Shai is going to destroy you, because I'm pretty certain. There are a lot of men of the Lord that have been locked up and wrongfully done and accused of things, the 1/3. And they're just not even doing shit wrong. They're just in the wrong place at the wrong time, But that's as I read in the book of Psalms, Psalm 64, right? They set up traps and snares. Okay. So I'm gonna continue on, and it says, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for prey, and none delivereth them, for a spoil, and none saith restore. You get on national TV and you're talking about how the worst thing to have at the end of the month is a police officer without an arrest. Because they're out there trying to hit a quota. Oh, we gotta hurry up and hit a quota because we gotta arrest somebody. What kind of shit is that, man? It just shows you how corrupt and evil this place is, man. That we live in. It's an evil place. Shut up in prison houses. You get locked up. You riding down the street. The police get behind you. You automatically oh shit. Why? Why does that feeling come upon you? That feeling of fear. Well, it comes upon you because these devils, they up to no good. They will find a reason. You heard him. You know what? Let's go and run that back. He said they will find a reason. They will find something. They'll find a homeless dude on the street or something like that, just to lock his ass up, just so they can have an arrest. So let's go ahead and where is it at? Yeah, here we go.
Or those few summonses, they're pressured to find something. You might not see nothing. You're supposed to. These officers, whoever don't have that arrest, or those few summonses, they're pressured to find something. You might not see nothing. You're supposed to be visible. You might not see anything, but you go hunting, like bounty hunting for an arrest. Locking up some old guy, some homeless guy, finding somebody who's riding a bicycle on the sidewalk, who's spitting, and you bring him in.
The problem is when you go hunting, when you put any type of numbers.
They actually call that shit hunting. They actually call that shit hunting. And you can see all these jakes that are sitting on this pen are all bald-faced, baloney head, baloney-lipped, sellouts. And all y'all gonna get y'all comeuppance, man. All y'all gonna get Yahweh Shai gonna destroy all y'all with the sword and bitter destruction, and your families for the evil shit that you've done, man. You sat here and you perpetuated this wickedness just so you can be a part of their system. And they're doing this evil on a day-to-day basis, and you can't realize inside your head that this shit is wicked. You can't say, oh man, this is evil. I don't want to do this shit no more. That's what shows you that our people are through, man. Especially those people that are in power. They work for the system thinking that the system cares about them, and then A so-called white cop will pull you over and then put your ass in handcuffs on the ground, and you one of theirs, to show you that you really ain't a part of their system. You're just being used as a tool to perpetuate their wickedness. You know, the man said, we're pressured to find something. And then you think that, oh, we're going to get on national TV and bring awareness. Bro, you ain't trying to fight against your enemies. You still oppressing you're still oppressing your own people. You know? But the scriptures say that was going to happen. It's all prophecy. You know, our people are shut up in prison houses. You know? And you heard what he said at the beginning. He said, Latinos and Negroes. I want you to hear. Listen one more time.
Tell you this to your face. Black Hispanics between 14 to 21.
Black
They
and
must get
Hispanics.
stopped.
Why was it just those specifically, right? So let's go to Isaiah 50 and 33. This is the book of Isaiah 50 and verse 33. Come on now, internet. Oh, there it is. Oh, Slakia. I went to chapter 33. My bad. Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, chapter 50, verse 33. Tripping. I'm tripping. Jeremiah 15:33. Salakia. So Jeremiah 15:33. It says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel, which is the northern kingdom, those are Negroes, Latino, the Hispanics, you know, your so-called Indians or West Indies, your Latinos, those are the native, the southern kingdom, okay?" And it says, "And the children of Judah were oppressed together." Those would be your so-called Negroes, and it's they it's basically Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. So the Judah, which are the so-called American Negroes, Benjamin, which is your so-called Jamaicans, and Levi, which is your so-called Haitians. Those basically make up the Northern Kingdom. And then you got Issachar, which is the so-called Mexicans, and various other groups on the 12 tribes chart, and we can get it just for the sake of that. We're just gonna leave it at that. Okay, so the children of Israel, which is the southern and the northern kingdom, and where are they being oppressed at? Right here in Babylon, aka America. Okay, this is the place where you get treated the worst. You come from Mexico. You come from different parts of the world thinking that you're coming to America to get a reprieve, and that's all you do is get defiled and oppressed. You got a wholesome woman coming from the DR, right? She come over here to America, now she's a harlot. She getting ran through. Okay? You got a dude, a man, that's family oriented, got his head on straight. He comes to America, then he becomes a simp and an ignorant nigga, just destructive, all about money in the bag. All his morality go out the door. So this place sells you it sells you a dream or ideology that you think that you can believe in, but this place is a destruction, all right? And you think that you're gonna come to America and all your dreams are gonna come true, but everybody leaving this place. All right? Nobody wants to be an American anymore. And we told y'all this shit was gonna happen, and everything else we said is gonna happen too. Everybody think you're gonna escape it. You're not gonna escape the destruction that's coming. Okay? So let's go to Micah chapter 2. This is Micah 2 and 10. And it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you with the sword of destruction. So everybody keeps coming to America, trying to make something out themselves, but they got all these systems set up to trap your ass. This is not your rest. It's a glittering wrapper with poison on the inside. Okay, that's what America is. It's a wrapper. It ain't even glittering no more like it used to. It's dull now. All right, but it used to be a place where you look at it, it looked like a golden city. Okay, but on the inside of the golden city, it's nothing but poison and debauchery and things that'll defile you. Okay. So this place it'll destroy you with the sword of destruction, man. And these people, these people that run things, they set up decrees and put systems in place to trap a certain demographic of people. Okay, this is why it's not our rest. The Lord warned us about it in Isaiah the 10th in the Isaiah the 10th chapter. This is Isaiah 10:1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. The things that they do are unrighteous. They're evil. Okay? They're evil when you're just targeting the people who ain't even bothering you, man. Leave Jake alone, but you're not, because you have a perpetual hatred for Jake, which is also prophesied in the scriptures, right? To where you just want to kill Jacob. That's always in the forefront of your mind, is to destroy the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? You have a hatred that is genetically ingrained inside you. Why else would you write laws for one set of people and then write a different set of laws for another set of people? An unrighteous decree. Okay? Verse 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment. Okay, you turn aside those people that are in need from proper judgment. You take advantage of those people that are literally trying to do the right thing and living in the most basest conditions. And when they come to you from help, you turn righteous judgment away from them. I was just watching the video with this guy, this Jake, this white woman, these two white girls. He was like 17 or something like that. And he was just walking in the park, and two white girls said that he raped them. He ended up spending 44 years of his life. Now, he wasn't 17. I think he was like in his 30s, because he was 74 when he was released. And they said he spent 44 years of his life. And these women said that he raped them. All right. When they did an examination on these women were virgins still. Their hymen was still intact. Okay, is what they said. Right. So then he's been trying for 44 years to prove his innocence, because there was no evidence to prove otherwise. There was no DNA evidence. There were no witnesses. It was just their word. OK, that he raped them. Two wicked ass fucking women, white women, Edomite women. OK, so finally, 44 years later, he finally proved his innocence when he acquired the evidence necessary to exonerate himself. Right. Well, tell me if that's not depriving the needy from proper judgment. You got these people, these privileged so-called white women telling you that a man raped them. Come to find out, they were engaging in inappropriate behavior with their cousin. They was kissing cousins, right? And they needed somebody to blame it on, so they blamed it on the black dude. Ruined his life, And then what happens? Do they get punished for that shit? No. They just move on. So then at the end of the video, when they interviewed the two women, now that they're older, they say, oh, we still have anxiety and we're still scared. For what? You didn't even know the nigga. You didn't even know him. You just took any random black dude that you saw and said he did it. And the system that we live in perpetuated that lie and took away this man's whole entire life. And this is why y'all people are going to be destroyed with a sword of destruction. The world is going to hate y'all people, man. And they're already hating y'all for the evil that y'all have done. You're so unfair. And it's like, you're just going to do what I say you're going to do. And that's it. That's it. That's the so-called MO of the so-called white man. No matter how, no balance, no structure, just changing everything as he see fit to fit his narrative. Ruining the whole justice system is set up on a farce. You know, it's wicked as hell. And then you go into their justice system and you prove them that their shit is evil and unrighteous, and then they change the rules. Most of these judges don't even know the damn laws. Most of the cops don't even know the laws. All these courts are corporations. They're for profit, and courts are supposed to be non-profit organizations to de-incentivize corruption. You're not getting paid any extra money for doing this job. Okay, so you're gonna have to exude righteous judgment. But what these dudes do, right? They get a bag under the table. Okay, they get payoffs to lock your ass up. They get bonuses for as many people as they incarcerate, for as many men that they put on child support. Okay, you ever wonder why you get charged with such stupid ass crimes? I mean, according to their laws, their U.S. Constitution, in order for there to be a crime, it has to be a victim. Okay, running a red light, it's not a crime. Speeding is not a crime. Hell, even stealing from a corporation is not a crime because a corporation doesn't exist. It's not a flesh and blood thing. Okay, now stealing immoral, yes, but you can't steal from something that exists on paper. You're not taking from that a person, from a flesh and blood person. You're taking from an artificial entity that doesn't exist. It cannot speak. It cannot talk. You need a flesh and blood representative to represent that thing that exists on paper. So there aren't any crimes. The only crimes that exist are the ones that are in scripture. You kill somebody, you get killed. Or you murder somebody, you get killed. Okay, you steal from somebody, you get punished for that. Don't lie, don't defraud, don't cheat. All the things that the so-called white man does. Okay? All these things he does. I'm going to read that again. It says, to turn aside the needy from judgment and take away the right of my poor, the people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And this is the system that they set up. They set up a system where the father is not in the home. Okay. And the mothers are the ones that are raising their children. So they rob the fatherless of their lives, liberty, and all their opportunity and substance. All right. They rob the fatherless of all their opportunity, all of their substance, everything. Okay, they turn the girls into whores. They turn the men into simps, into little bitches. Okay, and then they actually have laws, literal laws. It's called the fatherless home law, some shit like that. I got to look more into it. But when I heard about it, I was like, wow, they really make it to where they don't want any fathers in the home because they've learned, which we've already known this shit. It doesn't take to do studies to understand that you need a father in the home because he's the head. According to these studies, right? A fatherless home, a father teaches their sons how to channel their aggression because men are naturally aggressive. Okay, through sports, okay, through wrestling, through discipline. You know, you teach the children how to channel their aggression, right? Okay, girls need to be cherished in a way that brings them value that comes through their father. Okay, not through their mother, because women are stupid. All right, they're dumb as hell. They fall for any trick that you may throw in front of them. Anything. They're way worse than they were years ago, these damn women. Okay? These silly ass women. All right? And so then they give the children to the mother and remove the father. And the woman, she needs the father to understand her value. She needs the father to give her value. Okay, so now you take the father out of the home, the boy becomes useless and the woman becomes valueless. You see? And ain't that what we see? You got these little young, what they call them, YNs, young niggas, right? Out here doing all type of destructive stuff. You got the little young girls doing all type of hoe stuff. All this is perpetuated by this wicked ass system that we live in. You can't even ride down the street without some cop with a gun on his hip, you know, just sitting lurking. For what? Because they have a quota. They have an agenda. All right. And this shows you how wicked this system is. And it was really created to oppress Jake. Okay. It was created to oppress Jake, and it was created to steal and rob from you. Okay. So, I'm not going to continue on. That was enough. I'm going to end it there by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rachaf Hadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, great millstone, who rule, teach well. To the next time, brothers, I'm going to say shalom.